Hello everybody. I just wanted to take a day out of my day to hopefully help some of you. I'm an individual who loves food. I'm passionate about food. I have a wife and daughter that have some gluten sensitivities, and one of the hardest things for somebody to do when, you know, honestly you're loving the food is to give up something. Let's say, for instance, maybe a chicken fried steak dinner, or maybe some chicken noodle soup, you know, the thick style, things that you really enjoy. So what I wanted to do is let you guys know that I was able to spend some time with my culinary skills of things I'd learned in the past, things that my wife had learned, and then put together an amazing recipe. We're going to focus today on a chicken noodle soup that is completely off the hook. Even if somebody is gluten-free and they've loved to be on gluten in past lives eating the chicken noodle soup, I'm going to show you guys an amazing way to get some chicken noodle soup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off, we started off with a 3-pound chicken. I got it boiled up here, so we have a nice broth left over. We already went ahead and took care of all the chicken meat. The chicken we just cubed up. And so this pot's an 8-quart stock pot. It's about halfway full. I've already done some seasoning with it, and I'll tell you a little bit about the seasoning. But right now I'm going to go ahead and add in the meat. I'm going to turn my temperature up a little bit. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to heat it up so we get to a nice rolling boil. So the next thing I got is I sauteed these earlier because I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this. I want it to be fast, quick. But basically, for those of you who do sauteing, naturally I love butter. We do have a dairy sensitivity that we had discovered for a period of time, and so we learned how to do a little bit without dairy. And one thing that we used was olive oil, and what we found is with the olive oil, my daughter then had a sensitivity to the olive oil. So we came up with avocado oil, and this actually is great. For those of you that are, you know, just hooked on having to cook with some sort of a shortening or a butter, the avocado oil does a great job. You won't even be able to taste it in there. It's fantastic. So anyway, this is Chosen Foods avocado oil. So what I'm going to do, I've got the chicken in there. Next step here, I'm going to go ahead and take these sauteed vegetables, and what I've got in here is, now keep in mind, put in the vegetables you like. It doesn't matter what I've got in here for vegetables. We got some peppers, I've got celery, I've got carrots, and I've got onion and garlic. So I'm going to go ahead and add those in here. Those I sauteed earlier. So now I can stir it up a little bit. So now here's the hard part, guys. We've got to figure out how do we get some noodles. Well, fortunately we came up with an amazing way. When I was in the restaurant business, I was taught a long time ago that you can actually take tortillas, cut those up, and you can make those into amazing noodles very quickly. So I got the idea. I thought, wow, what if we used gluten-free tortillas? Would that work? And I started out with one brand, and it failed phenomenally. I put it in, and it just turned to mush. But I'm going to show you guys now. These tortillas, they're a gluten-free organic Rudy's tortilla. I got a couple different bags of them. I got one that's just plain, and then I got a Fiesta tortilla also. Okay, I've already chopped one up. I'm going to pop the other one out, kind of show you how to do it. If you like long noodles, you don't do the center cut, but it's this easy. These are just tortillas, and all you do is cut them into strips, however wide of noodles you want. These make amazing noodles, and I'm going to show you, even after you cook them for a half hour, they still stand up and they don't fall apart. So I don't know what they did to make these particular tortillas, but whatever they did, they were a genius, and they may not know it yet, but they probably could make a lot of money if they went ahead and cut these themselves and just sold them as gluten-free noodles. So hopefully they'll pick up on this and make it available to everybody. So again, I've got the soup going here. Okay, good and hot. Nice hearty soup there. I got a carrot stuck in that grate. All right. Next up, we could use cornstarch, but there's an alternate because cornstarch, you know, has some GMO problems and stuff like that. And if you don't want GMO, then use arrowroot starch. Very similar. Just got a 1/4 cup of the arrowroot. Add some water into it. Doesn't really matter how much. I just put it up to a 1/2 cup. The important thing is that it's cool when you do it, because this is kind of a thickener without gluten. So once you dissolve it all into the water, looks like you got a cup of milk here, but it's not a cup of milk. And what we do is we just slowly add this in as we stir. Now you'll notice I haven't put the noodles in yet. There's a reason for that. With these noodles, it doesn't matter at what point in time that you add those noodles. The reason being is, regardless of when you add those, they're not going to overcook, undercook, any of that. It's pretty amazing to have something that is this easy to work with. So right now, I've got a beautiful looking chicken noodle soup going here. And now I'm going to bring these tortillas. As you see, I've got some long ones, and the other ones I cut in half. I'm going to lift them up so you can maybe see them. So again, you can see I cut those in half after I slit them. These are longer. So this would give us a nice mix in the soup where you have some short noodles and some long noodles. If you got kids out there, they're going to want those long noodles in there. So now all I do is add those in. That easy. And then stir it up. And within just a few minutes, this soup will be ready to serve and to eat. And actually, it's only going to take maybe a couple of minutes here. So I'll dish some up here in just a moment. But while it's doing this little bit of a cooking phase here, I'll tell you the last step here. I have some secret spices here. But I'll go ahead and share a little bit with you about the secret spices. We've got Better Than Bouillon. And the reason we're using this is because it's gluten-free and also soy-free. Again, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop for a moment. What'd you say?